Hello, my name is Ivan Taylor, and I'm from Policy Dynamics in Ontario, Canada. And I want to talk to you today about some work that a colleague and I did for the System Dynamics Conference 2023 in Chicago during the hackathon. Um, this was on generative AI and society understanding the impact. So the research question that we looked at was, how can policymakers effectively address the potential impacts of generative AI tools on societal structures, institutions, and economics while promoting responsible and equitable integration into diverse communities? The intended audience for this work was researchers, policymakers, and practitioners concerned with responsible integration of AI technology. Why is this important? This research is crucial as the widespread adoption of generative AI tools may have significant consequences for social beliefs, knowledge dissemination, discourse, and institutions. The hopes and fears are that our models can produce graphs that depict the adoption of AI tools and changes in social discourse, quality, employment trends, and epistemological crisis index and sentiment analysis of AI-related discussions. The dynamic hypothesis that we developed involves starting with the quality of AI tools, which are affected by policy interventions. And this leads to changes in the perception of AI quality, which we feel is central. It's not the quality of the AI tools, but the perception of the AI tools that quality is what is important. And the perception of AI quality is impacted by the quality of social discourse, community knowledge, and community beliefs. The perception of AI quality will lead, if it improves, to higher user AI tool adoption and higher institutional AI tool adoption. And this will affect workers and employment rates, which will in turn affect the perception of whether AI is a good thing or a bad thing. Now, the quality of social discourse is something that we feel is very central to this model. And this quality of social discourse has a feedback loop into the perception of AI, but it also has a bigger feedback loop where the quality of social discourse will impact community knowledge, which will impact the perception of AI quality. And the quality of social discourse will impact community beliefs, which will impact the perception of AI quality. So here's the model in a stock and flow diagram of user and institutional adoption. We have user adoption, institutional adoption, user abandonment, and institution abandonment. We have an adoption rate which is impacted by the perception of AI tools and the impact of AI education on the user adoption rate. And then we have also the perception of AI tools affecting the institutional adoption rate. Um, we have the time for users to abandon is also based on perception, and they will more likely abandon AI tools if the perception of the AI tools quality is not meeting their expectations. Uh, And the quality of AI tools is based on this model, which has an expected quality of AI tools from the institutions and the users compared to an actual quality of AI tools. And then we have a goal gap relationship where over time, the quality of AI tools gets to about the expected value. This expected AI tools quality has influenced by regulations, quality standards, ethics, responsible research, and public-private partnerships. And what we look at here is an improvement rate, and this improvement rate is very. The model is very sensitive to this improvement rate. The model assumes that there will be improvement over time in the quality of the AI tools. However, the rate of improvement can determine whether the AI tools adoption is sustainable or not. The perception of AI quality shown down here is affected by community knowledge and community beliefs. It's also affected by the quality of the AI tools themselves and the employment rate. So there's a number of impacts here. And then the quality of social discourse impacts the expected community knowledge, and the quality of social discourse also affects the expected community beliefs. And this in turn is related to the perception of AI tools. So this is a feedback loop as the perception of AI tools influence community knowledge and community beliefs, which in turn affect the perception of AI tools. So we can look at the calibration we did, and you can see that we had data on the number of users of ChatGPT from November 2022 to September 2023. And we see that we got a very good match between the model users in pink and the actual users in blue. Now, we looked at various policies, and one of the policies was the regulatory guidelines for transparency and accountability, the quality standards for AI-generated content, ethical use guidelines, user education and awareness programs, support for responsible AI research, employment transition programs, AI governance bodies, and public and private partnerships. Now we can look at the results without significant policy interventions, and we get this kind of a picture in the results. And we see the red line here is AI quality, which is improving slowly. But apparently the model suggests that it's not improving fast enough to maintain a growth in the use of AI tools. So this is the black line is the users, and because of this lack of quality based on the expected quality, the adoption of AI tools becomes unsustainable, and we have an overshoot and collapse type of situation where after a while the AI tools start being abandoned and because the quality is low. But it's also affected by community beliefs, which affect the user adoption, and also the social discourse. And we can see that both of those are declining over time because of the lack of improving quality. And then we have employment in gray, and we see that as the adoption increases, there's a drop in employment. However, after the after the abandonment starts, we see that eventually there's a delay, and then the employment starts to increase again, back to its original state. Now, with policy interventions, as I mentioned, we can get a situation of continuous growth in the number of AI users. So this black line shows this growth pattern. And you can see here the quality of the AI tools is much improved with the policy interventions than it was before without the policy interventions. And we can see also that the community beliefs drop for quite a while, but eventually, as the quality of the AI tools increases, eventually the community beliefs start to increase again. And the social discourse declines for a while, but eventually, as the AI tools improve, then we start to see an improvement in the social discourse. And finally, employment starts at 300 million and drops down to 200 million. So we can see that there's a significant drop in employment. But when we combine that with the users of AI, which starts at 0 and moves to 200,000, we see that we actually have a net gain in employment as the number of users who are people who are using AI tools and the number of people who are not using AI tools is actually greater than the original state that we were in at time 0. There are a number of possible unintended consequences with these policies. One is that having some regulation on the generation of AI results could be considered a bit of a problem in that it might lead to feelings of hindering the freedom of expression. So that would be a situation where the regulations lead to a fix that fails. Similarly, when we try to root out the misinformation that could be generated by a generative AI, we might miss the root cause and think that the misinformation generated is caused by the generative AI and not address the real problem, which is the users of AI, which are trying to spread the misinformation. And then we could have possible short-term profit making that ruins long-term goals. And this is a better before worse situation. And again, this could be an unintended consequence of these policies. And finally, we have this idea of success to the successful, and where large companies can comply more easily than small companies to regulations that involve a lot of work on the part of the programmers. There's a number of caveats with this model that we should mention. First is that it's a very simplified presentation, and it's got very limited data. We only have about a year's worth of data, and it had to make many assumptions about the influences of the various aspects of the model on each other, and there was a limited policy exploration. There was limited human factors considerations. And we assumed homogeneous communities of users and institutions. But we also considered that we had policy independence. That is, we didn't consider situations where policies will interact either synergistically or may inhibit different policy. There may be inhibition between policies where they might cause the policies to not work well together. Some insights from this model are that it's the rate of quality improvement that the model is very sensitive to. So we saw in the results that the quality did improve even without significant policy interventions. However, the model was very sensitive to the rate of quality improvement, about whether the rate was going to meet the expected values of the users, and then if it doesn't meet that expected value, then the situation may not be sustainable. We may have an overshoot and collapse situation. The other thing is that the policy interventions uh, and the rate of quality improvement uh, are are useful. And I think that one of the things is that the AI tool developers are really seriously looking for policies that can help them make their models higher quality. So I think that there's a desire amongst amongst the AI developers to get useful feedback from policymakers on how to improve their products. The other aspect of this model that I think is quite important is that it's not the rate or it's not the actual quality of the AI tools, but it's the perception of the AI quality. And this is affected by social discourse and community beliefs with a very high rate of feedback where degrading social discourse will degrade the perception of AI quality, and community beliefs that are negative could lead to a negative perception of AI quality. However, AI literacy and AI education can lead to a better situation for community knowledge and community beliefs, and this can lead to an improvement in the perception of AI quality. And finally, we considered that employment rates and productivity had impacts on the perception of AI quality. And but the two things, employment rates and productivity, had sort of canceling out effects that reductions in employment rates could lead to a negative perception of AI quality. However, in terms of productivity improvements, institutions might really think that the AI is really good for their company and therefore have a higher perception of AI quality. So these two things are sort of conflicting, the employment rates and the productivity improvements. So thank you for your attention, and I'd be happy to take any questions at this time, or you could reach me at ivan@policydynamics.ca.